G'day, I'm Patto. I'm the host of the Backyard Ultra podcast. And by now you might have noticed that the Conversations by the Woodpile YouTube channel has been renamed Backyard Ultra Channel. I'll be posting videos on the channel every week, previewing the races that are coming up, as well as some interviews here and there. This week, there's going to be an interview with Laz, as well as an interview with one of the race directors. The races this weekend. First of all, we've got No Time to Die, Front Yard Ultra in Adelaide, Australia. I actually ran at this race last year, and it was an epic race when Johan Botha finished as the last one standing with 59 yards, and Rock and Roll Joel Sexton was the assist. It's a really nice flat course in the parklands right next to Adelaide City. We've got a race in Croatia, the Dotka Backyard Ultra, in the 6th year running of the race, and it was the first Backyard Ultra to be held in Croatia. It must be a tough course because the course record is 19 yards, and that 19 yards included 3,400 metres of elevation. We've got the Sky Pilots Ouray Backyard Ultra in the USA. It's described as an easy out and back course with 170 feet of vert, but it's above 7,700 feet above sea level. So that adds a bit of an X factor to the race. Last year, Megan Eckert was the assist, and she went on to break the female record in Backyard Ultras. We've got another USA Backyard Ultra called the Perfect PR Backyard Ultra. So this is a beautiful looking course at Independent Oaks Park. And according to their website, the course is designed to be the most competitive and enjoyable backyard ultra in the world. We've got Lacoux Backyard Ultra in Canada. And this one's actually held in the backyard of the race director, whose name is Brian Wallace. And the race is being used to raise funds for Olive Tree Project, which looks to be a really great cause. In the UK, we've got God's Own Backyard Ultra Spring Edition. 88 participants have signed up. I believe it's held in Leeds, and there's a day and night loop. We've got 4 Backyard Ultras I don't know much about. We've got the Backyard Ultra TLT 3.0 in Russia, the 30 Loop Challenge in Germany, the Ural Backyard Ultra in Russia, and in Bolivia there's the Chiquiago Marca Backyard Ultra. Then we've got in Canada Coach D's Backyard Ultra and Trail Race. This is one of those Backyard Ultras that actually has been capped at 24 hours. And on the 24th hour, the last runners who are remaining actually race to see who the winner is. In Australia, we've got Two Rivers Backyard Ultra. It's the first year this one's being held, and I'll actually be there running. I had a chat with the race director, Robbie, about the race as well. So here you go. Okay, Robbie, how are you going?
Good, Patto, good.
Good. So this weekend will be the first running of Two Rivers Backyard Ultra. How did Two Rivers come to be?
Well, after a few years of running at Shepparton, Patto, we we ran a trial series throughout last year where runners could basically put together a course and send it through to us to run an 8-hour event at. And out of that, we were going to pick one to expand on and do a full-size one this year. So out of the 4 courses that were selected, the course that was run in Echuca just stood out as a really good course. There's a good venue there. It's going to be a great spot. And it follows the river, which we seem to have a habit of doing now.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned it's in Echuca, which is a small town in Australia. Can you tell me about the actual town Echuca?
Yeah, Echuca's a border town bordering New South Wales and Victoria. It sits on the Victorian side along the Murray River, which runs all the way along the Victorian border. And in Echuca, there's actually three rivers that meet together. So we've called this one Two Rivers because the Campaspe River and the Murray River, which is the main river that runs through, actually join at a particular point on the course. So you actually run along the Murray and then turn and follow along the Campaspe River. Echuca's a nice little historic town that has steamboats and all sorts of quaint historic factors, I guess.
Yeah, excellent. Now the course, I believe it's pretty flat and it's through bushland. I haven't seen it yet, so how would you describe the course?
Well, we start off on dirt. So the village is in the dirt. Well, I say dirt, light gravel, sort of in the bush. And we follow along the edge of the river on I wouldn't say a single trail, but a little bit wider than a single trail. It's not a car track or anything like that. Follows along the river, ducks under a major highway, and then runs up along the highway on pavement. So you go from dirt to a little bit of footpath. And then on your way back, you turn and go up over what we would call the hill, which equates to, I think, about 15 meters of it for the entire lap, and then come back down and through the bush back into the finish line. It's a great little bush-based course with some good scenery along the river.
Yeah, awesome. Now, how many runners have signed up?
We're super excited to have 62 runners signed up for this one.
Oh yeah, cool. 62. That's pretty good for a first one. And any notable runners or any PBs that you know of?
There are a few fairly notable runners in there. Ross McLean has got a fairly solid PB of in the 50s.
Yep.
There's yourself, Patto,
Yep. I'll be.
with a plan to push hard.
Yep.
Andy Rogers has done 30 in the past.
Yep.
Not Kevin Matthews, Kevin Muller,
Yep.
who's a bit of a backyard OG in Australia, is along for the ride. So they're probably the big key ones, but there's quite a number of locals that are wild cards. There's a couple of guys that I've been warned have done some milers and things in the past that are got the potential to appear.
Yeah, awesome. Now, it's very likely that the race will still be going on Monday. So what's your strategy to stay awake for all that time?
I've actually got a strategy this time.
Yeah.
Um, we've booked a cab in the caravan park that backs on to the village. So I'll be able to duck off there and have a snooze here and there while my amazing wife, Michaela, RDs in the meantime. And I've been practicing some non-sleep deep rests and do a bit of that, then we should be all right. But adrenaline keeps you going.
Okay, cool. I've lost just some of your video, but I can still hear you, so that's good. Now, how can people follow along at home, Robbie?
Right. Best way to follow along would be on the Northvic Backyard Ultras Facebook and Instagram pages.
Yep.
And also there's live timing for the event there'll be a link for that put up on the Facebook page as well.
Yeah, cool. And the race starts on Saturday at midday, yeah?
Correct. Midday start gives us 6 or 7 hours before it gets dark.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I can't wait. Like as you mentioned, I'll be there, and yeah, I'm hoping to run a big race and like smash my PB. So yeah, I'm really excited, Robbie. And thanks for coming on. And I'll see you on Saturday.
No worries. Great to be on. You will. Fantastic.
All right, see you, mate. I also recently had a chat with Laz the other day too about backyard ultras and about the growth of the sport. G'day, Laz. How you going?
Oh, I'm doing really good. Appreciate you having me on here.
Oh, no problem. So I think it's safe to say, Laz, that every year there are more backyard ultras held across the world than the year before. Do you know how many countries have actually held backyard ultras now?
There's something over 80 countries that are on the calendar right now.
Yeah,
And I could not tell you because it's a constantly changing thing. We just had Tajikistan
right.
join with a new backyard this week. I know that we're approaching 600 races.
Wow.
So it's well, that's been our thing every year. We have to try to reorganize everything to scale up how much there is to do.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, even at the last Team World Champs, there was a couple of countries that I'd never heard of before. I mean, and you mentioned Kazakhstan. Like, are there any other countries, the new countries getting on board as well that you can think of?
Oh God, I'd have to think of them all. I know that on the team championships, the first year we had 25, the second year we had 37. Then the third one uh, was last year and it was 60, it's like 61.
Yeah,
We already have 71 countries that have joined in this year wanting to do it.
yeah.
It's apparently a real popular idea.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think one of the reasons that's helped Backyard Ultras grow is the Team World Champs because so many people love the idea of being able to represent their country.
Yes, and it's a very attainable thing because it's really the backyard goes to the person who wants it the most.
Mm,
Um, because of my experience in athletics all my life and something that's measured with numbers, we wanted to have where the athletes themselves decide. So everything is about qualifying. We either have the silver ticket races where you can make the team by winning a race on this day at this time, or the other part of the team is the people who have done the most yards
mm,
over the course of the previous 2 years of qualifying.
yeah,
It's really looking like it's going to be exciting as we get to the August 15th cutoff. There's a lot of races in August that are last chance events,
mm,
and everyone will have those marks up there that they know they have to make.
yeah,
I think the last August is going to be a really exciting time with a lot of rosters changing.
yeah. A lot of movers and shakers.
Probably not a day that you want to be on the 15th spot and sitting at home and watching it.
Yeah. Um, I think a big reason why backyards have also taken off in popularity is because of how social and inclusive the races are. And I was wondering, like, was the social aspect of the format part of your vision when you created the idea, or is that just a coincidence?
I didn't there were a lot of things that I didn't really anticipate. The competitive end, I could envision that,
Yeah,
but the way that for people at all levels of ability just have an opportunity to have a good time, it's a non-threatening environment. If you go out and you're the first person out, well, you're not there for hours after everyone's gone.
yeah,
And then the part from about 15 till up until the whistles start, it's like an ever-growing cocktail party and everyone's talking and enjoying themselves.
yeah,
I've even had some elite runners who are really fast and normally run an ultra and they're alone and within minutes the whole way say it's refreshing to run a race and they can talk to anybody. And if they're talking to somebody way slower, run a lap or two with them. It doesn't make any difference.
yeah, yeah. And
So it's lots of good things.
yeah, and that's another. It's a big thrill for the slower runners who maybe are only going to stick around for 7 or 8 yards to be able to run with these really high level, famous people in the backyard world.
Yeah, I mean, you always got to, it was a nice thing about ultras that the fields were small enough. You could enter a race that had a great runner in it, but all you saw was his ever dwindling ass disappearing into the distance. And here, if you you know, you can run around and run a loop with him and talk if you get into a conversation.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So one of the other things that's growing is the number of people participating in the races. Like this year, there's been some races with over 300 runners, and it's becoming a thing now where some race organizers want to organize the race with the highest number of runners. So, I mean, can you believe how big some of these races are getting?
It's amazing, but what's really surprising is, Ben, that the averages
Mm,
have stuck at about the same place. It's really consistently that you have about 75 runners in a race,
yeah.
and six of them go over 24 hours.
Mm.
It's right around 7%, which jumped from 4.5% when we started giving certificates to the people who got a 24-hour and won a world ranking.
Yeah,
And all of a sudden, people don't stop at 22 or 23 anymore.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That certificate's good. Yeah, and you can actually see where you rank every year. That was a really good initiative, I thought.
It's it's fun because that there's some of us out here who just really like data.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So as far as improvement goes as well, like over the last few years, the number of yards we're seeing is going through the roof. And just the other week, a new world record was set at 116 yards by Lukacs Roble. Personally, whenever a new world record is set, I think, okay, that's going to be a while till that's broken, but it happens like pretty quickly. So, do you think that 116 yards will stand for a long time?
I think there's a good chance it won't last past October.
Yeah,
And really, you might see a run made at it during some of these last chance events, because you'll see the runners with bigger credentials are probably going to gravitate to the same events
yeah,
that are conducive to high totals. And one thing you learn if you're as an athlete long enough is you never know when you run the best race of your life. You always think it's a stepping stone until one day you realize you're so old you can't even touch that anymore.
yeah,
And I think if you see guys get out there and they're feeling good and they're getting in the big yards and they make the team and they still have a couple of good assist runners with them, although everybody's an assist until someone wins.
mm,
And they may say, you know, let's go for it today because today is the day.
yeah, yeah. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, seeing a world record like that is amazing. But what I think makes backyard ultras so special, and you touched on this a little bit before, is that from the very first yard, there are people breaking their own distance PBs and pushing themselves to places they might never have thought possible. And I mean, I've been to a lot of backyard ultras, and especially when I'm not running, like if I'm there as a crew or volunteer, I mean, there's so many times like I almost start crying because there's so many emotional there's just so many performances that make you emotional. So do you get a bit emotional yourself when you're at backyard ultras?
It's well, I am a sad case. I can weep at athletic events because seeing people, the I don't know, when they really find something in themselves they didn't expect. I think I see so many emails and someone will write and say, well, I wanted to work towards someday running a 24-hour 100, and I just did it. You know, I didn't think it was possible that I could do that.
Yeah,
And yeah. But when we went to a race in Sweden, and the lady that ran the motel where we stayed, she did 2 yards. It was the longest run she'd ever done. She'd never gone over 10 kilometers, and she was on cloud nine the whole week. And you think, it is so great to have an event where everyone has the opportunity to succeed. If
yeah,
they do better than they've ever done before, it's a win.
yeah, yeah, 100%. Um, so 2025 is going to be a huge year, and it's already been a huge year. But we've still got a lot of exciting races coming up as well. Like we've got Dead Cow Gully, Suffolk back. We've got Capital as well. But the biggest of them all is Bigs in October. So we're already in May. It's going to come quickly.
We've started taking, yeah, we've set up a Facebook group for the people who are entered in the race because to give them information, we've got over 50 countries represented. So we need that Google Translate.
Yeah,
And some of them are already signing up. A lot of work has been going on since October to try and get visas for all the people from different places.
yeah,
And some of them you keep your fingers crossed because it's hard, but it will be, I know in 23 was just the most amazing sporting event I've ever been around because that you had people that time from about 40 different, they're speaking 30 languages in my front yard. That's enough to freak out at to start with. And then the spirit of in the backyard, it's like everyone's on the same team until you get down to the very end. You need everybody else to succeed so you can succeed. And watching people from countries where you think, oh, that country and this country, they're always at odds. And here is the athlete from that country. Their crew is going through their stuff to find something the athlete from the other country needs because for 5 days for 1 week in October, there's just one humanity, and we're all there together to accomplish the most we can.
yeah. Love it. I love it. So at the moment, 82 yards will get you onto the at-large list. How many yards do you think will be required to make the at-large list by the end of the qualifying period?
Um, yeah, I don't know. Right now, once I can get when I'm off on a little 350-mile run. So when I get home and can get this stuff, we're going to invite the 100-yard plus people because I think surely there can't be 14 more 100-yarders in the next 3 months.
Yeah,
It's good that I'll wait a couple of weeks because we'll have to see what happens. There's going to be, but you have to get the right race. You have to have more than one person.
yeah,
It
yeah,
takes two stubborn people.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah.
I don't know. Do you think it could go up to 90? Or
I
do you think with the people who can't get visas and stuff, it'll hang around 80?
Yeah, I think 82 will probably be the number, but that will be after some runners don't accept or can't make it for whatever reason. But I think to feel safe, you'll want to be in the 90s to feel safe. Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, 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 yeah. Awesome. Well, look, it's going to be an exciting year. Like I said, it's already been a year of an amazing year already. So it's going to be 2025 is the year of the Backyard Ultra, I think. So thanks so much for coming on and answering a few questions, Laz.
Oh, again, thanks for having me on. I'm just enjoying immensely watching this whole thing unfold and the amazing things that people can do.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess 5 days hasn't gone yet, but it's looking over its shoulder.
100%. I saw Megan Eckert did over 600 miles in 6 days.
Yes,
So that's the equivalent to over 6 days in a backyard ultra, isn't it?
that is. And I didn't see it. They told me that she said, well, a lot of the credit goes to the things she learned about pacing in the backyard.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think looking at results and as they go down, if I was still a multi-day racer, I would want to taste that backyard to see. There's obviously lessons to be learned because the results are just astounding.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, well, thanks again, Laz, for coming on. Hopefully, you'll be able to. We'll have a few more chats as the months go on.
Oh yeah, it's from here on it just gets more exciting, and we're working with them to make sure we keep these rosters updated because you flip through the rosters and see you think about the individual athletes in these countries that are looking and saying, I can do that. I
Yeah,
can do
yeah, yeah.
that.
All
And
right.
then the races where someone you get down to two and the one guy says I'm going to drop and the other one says I just need 2 more yards to make the team.
Yeah,
And you'd be amazed how often they say, I'll come up with 2 more yards. I'll get you there.
yeah,
It's individual team sport.
yeah, yeah. I love it. Yeah, there was definitely a couple of examples in Australia last year of two runners just keeping going just so one of them could qualify for the team.
Oh, and then in the team championship, the two Australian guys hanging on to unfortunately knock off the US. But it's amazing what people can do when they have that opportunity to do something great.
Yeah. And it was perfect timing in Australia as well because it was around that time just after work had finished. So Sean, the race director, he put the call out, come on down if you're in the area. So there was more than 100 spectators there to watch the Australian team actually finish their race in second position. It was a great atmosphere.
Well, that's great. I hate to see the USA get knocked down, but it was fun
Yeah.
to watch hour after hour, knowing what that they were. And then I was communicating with people, so I knew that the one guy was really having to dig to the
Yeah.
very deepest pit of his ability to win it for Australia.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
love to see someone have that kind of a memory that'll be in their mind forever.
Yeah, yeah, excellent. It was a big PB as well. It was like I think it was a 20-yard PB he ran to do that. Yeah,
His country called and he answered.
yeah, yeah, 100%. All right, Les, I'll let you go, but thanks again.